Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Daytona International Speedway for a brand new series here on the McKinley Man 93 YouTube channel. This is the NNSCRA Menards ARCA series. I am Michael Norman alongside Seth Cole. And Seth, we got 20 cars out here funded by multiple different teams trying to get some nice young talent up into the upper series. What do you expect to see out of these 20 drivers?
Yeah, obviously, as you said, it's an opportunity for them to kind of showcase their talents in hopes of maybe nabbing themselves a ride in the next season of the Budweiser All Pro Series. Kind of like writing a resume, except you're doing it here at the World Center of Racing under the lights. I was gonna say at around 200 miles per hour, but that's with the Cup cars. These ARCA cars just a little bit slower in speed, which could be helpful, could be hurtful to these drivers here tonight. I know from experience that the faster the cars go into the super speedway, the easier it is to have fluid movement and making moves, making blocks. So maybe the slower speeds will add a little bit more of a hesitation for these drivers here tonight. But gonna be interesting to see because I mean, you gotta think that if a driver takes a checkered flag here tonight, a lot of your Budweiser All Pro Series teams will be looking at them saying, "Hey, if we put them in one of our cars next season, we may get ourselves a Daytona 500 victory."
That's very true. We got a 10 race schedule here that kind of these cars actually kind of followed the Budweiser All Pro Series in some way, shape, and form. They also go to a couple of different racetracks that the Budweiser All Pro Series doesn't go to. And Seth, I'm gonna pull up the qualifying order here if you want to go through the qualifying results here as we're ready for this race to get started.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've got some names peppered through the field that are familiar, but how about Kyler Sustre lining up on that pole position? JT Bryant, well-known name. We've seen him in multiple series, but it's been a while since we've seen him in the Budweiser All Pro Series. So maybe kind of trying to maybe get a little bit of redemption here to get back into the main series. Martin Harvey there. You got Manny Hartnett. Now, for those that aren't familiar, that's Emmanuel Hartnett. We just shortened the name so it would actually
So it would fit.
fit there. Yeah. So that is a well-experienced driver right there. And then you just go down this list, and these are drivers that they're gonna be proving themselves. We've never heard their names, and by the end of this season, we may be saying it a lot. Andrea Benton, Alan Tanner there in row 3, Jennifer Fields there joining Ryan Acosta. Now that's a veteran name right there, and Ryan Acosta there in row 4. Bobby Frazier, it's a guy that we saw in the Budweiser All Pro Series last year. Took a victory in the number 42 at Bristol Dirt, if I recall
Yep.
correctly. You know, he's down here in the ARCA series, if you will, in row 10 with Matt Haas, another big name in the community. Chris Dollerton, well-known name as well. He's there in row number 6 with Timo Mauser, Jeremy Mayer, Charlie Arnold, continuing to name off drivers we've never heard of before. There's Austin the Plant, Robbie Gelvin, and these are two drivers that we're very familiar with. They're starting pretty deep in the field. Tony Wiggins, Terry Okajama, Kerry Hanna, and then DJ Curtis, another well-known driver, bringing up shotgun in the field. Gonna be interesting here. 24 laps. There isn't enough time for DJ to work his way from the back to the front. Smaller field, though, than we would have with the normal, 36, 38
38.
drivers that we have in a Budweiser All Pro Series field. So there is the possibility that you can make your way from the back to the front since it's only, not quite half, a little more than half of what a full field would be.
Yep. Only 20 cars in this ARCA field here, and it's gonna be very interesting to see who can etch their name out. Just let it be known too, 10 races on the schedule. There is no form of playoff. The point standings are much like the old Winston Cup Series points format here. So for any of you familiar with that and how that specifically is run, you'll know that every position is going to definitely matter here going along the reason. And when it's all said and done, the champion of the ARCA series will get a guaranteed reserved ride for season 15 of the Budweiser All Pro Series.
Yeah,
First lap done here, and it was led by that 35. That's Martin Harvey.
Yeah, Martin Harvey. I was actually noticing the 63 there of Jennifer Fields running the bottom all by herself that entire first lap. She got up 3 wide for second place down the back straightaway. Still nobody jumped down there with her, and she was kind of able to hold her position, then started losing the ground after we exited out of the tri-oval through 1 and 2. But that 63 is fast even all by herself, so you got to think, if you're a fast car, people want to work with you because it's kind of one hand washing the other. If you push them to the front, you're going to the front as well.
It's kind of interesting to see nobody really kind of want to take the very, very inside here. And well, as you can see now, we got 4 cars on the inside. The rest of them trying to go up there. Jennifer Fields here, and Seth, you mentioned these cars running about or not running about 200 miles an hour, but actually running about 180, give or take here with the way these ARCA cars, the engines and everything are made and manufactured for this here. As we got a change for the lead, here comes Chris Dollerton.
Yeah, it was Chris Dollerton along with Jeremy Mayer that helped push Jennifer Fields on that inside line to the front. Now Dollerton going to take a turn out here in the lead. And you brought up the fact here, Michael, the incentive for these drivers that, we talk about some of these hopefuls trying to nab themselves a ride for next season, the Budweiser All Pro Series. One driver will be guaranteed, the champion will be guaranteed a spot in next year's field. 10 races though. I ran a showcase during the sixth season of the Duracell Cup Series. I'm telling you what, 5 races, 10 races, that's not a lot of time. Here tonight at Daytona, you got to get the season started off right because you don't want to be scrambling for 9 more races, making up the points you lost here in this one if you suffer a DNF or finish at the back of the pack. So it's all about consistency because 10 races is not a heck of a lot of time.
No, not at all. And with multiple points per position here, just like the old Winston Cup
Right.
Series format, it's going to make the finishing positions count even more. As we got a battle for the lead, here comes the 4 of That's Austin LaPlampa. Here comes Robbie Gilvin further down to the inside, gets a good run from the 73 right behind him. That's 2 Fords. That is Carrie Hanna, and she's making her way up to the front. Got a couple of new female faces in this series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got that 73, as you mentioned, with Carrie Hanna. Also right behind her, I believe that is DJ Curtis, who's managed to, all of a sudden, in a matter of, 5 laps, completed 4 laps. He's gone from dead last now to 3 wide for the race lead. So that has got to be a bit of a hopeful sight for drivers that might be towards the back of the pack here at halfway. Still plenty of time if DJ, in a matter of a little over 4 laps, can make his way from 20th up to first. Nobody is out of this if they're up in the lead pack.
Absolutely. And it's going to be just changing positions all the time here as we have now a new race leader to the inside. That's the phenomenon from Japan. That's I believe he called him I think his name is Teji Okajima.
Yep.
Is how you say it.
Yeah, I don't know about the first name. I can tell you got the last name right because there was a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox had the same last name. That's how they pronounced it. So I'm gonna adhere to you with the Teji as the first name. I think you're right on that though too. One thing I'm noticing here as well, and people that are familiar with the ARCA series, obviously the big name in the ARCA series is Venturini Motorsports. So you're thinking, well, are we going to see all those Venturini cars maybe work together in this one? I guarantee you, there's no teammates in this particular series, in this race here. This is going to probably be the only race we'll see where there's the opportunity for manufacturers, or I'll put this in air quotes, teammates to be able to work together. But no, your friends are where you find them here tonight. There's maybe alliances of driver to driver, but there's no manufacturer. There's no team
Ooh, they are
alliances here in
close
this
together.
one. Yeah, that was really close. That's Timo Mauser in the 18 that's stuck in the middle and almost was forced 4 wide. I think he almost got taken 4 wide because he was reacting to the 35 we see just up ahead of Martin Harvey moving up the racetrack. I think he was trying to follow him and in turn almost opened up the door for the 55 of Emmanuel Hartnett, to be able to stick his nose in there. It's sketchy enough going 3 wide through the tight tri-oval. You don't want to go 4 wide.
On board with the 18, just listen to that engine sound.
Yeah. Even heard right there, actually letting off the throttle, taking the opportunity to maybe half throttle a bit here, save a bit of fuel in the draft of, I believe that's the 57, just up ahead of him there, of Andrea Benton.
Coming off the corner, the car's scrambling around. There's just a lot of room with these cars, like you said, with the low speed here. We're starting to actually get a little bit of pack forming. I wonder if there might have been a little scare happen up here that was almost a wreck that caused them to get a little separated like this.
Yeah, there's definitely a separation from Harvey back to, trying to make out who that is. That's, I believe, is that the 69 there?
Yep,
of,
right here, Robbie Gilvin. Yep, he's just caught on.
Now you're seeing the draft, him being able to catch up. Tony Wiggins there as well. You've got that pack of about 6 back there. They're hoping they race double wide, 3 wide up ahead of them so they can catch back up as well. I'm almost wondering, Michael, if it might have been in reaction to what we saw there, that near 4 wide through the tri-oval. Some drivers thinking the wreck was going to take place. They bailed out of the throttle. Nothing happened. And then they're like, oh, wait, hold on. We got to catch back up now.
Bobby Fraser back here. We'll see if they can catch up. They race side by side, 3 wide like this. I don't see why those cars couldn't catch back up to them.
No, I don't either.
Talk about Venerini Motorsports. I believe they're running Toyotas, if I'm
Yes,
not mistaken,
you are
and I think there
correct.
was at least a couple of them. I know the 18 is Joe Gibbs. I'm not
Joe
sure if
Gibbs.
I think the 20 also is Venturini though,
Yep, the 20 is Venturini, the 25 is
and I think the
Venturini, and the
55 as well.
55.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, oh well, I mean, there's a couple of cars losing some ground here. Got Jennifer Fields back here, but Bobby Fraser seems to be the one that's losing the pack.
Yep.
187 up here by Jennifer Fields, and now even up here in this pack, they're running a little over 180 miles an hour. So the 20 car is going to be the unfortunate person to fall behind.
Interesting though, because you saw there through 3 and 4. Normally, if you're a car that's out at the draft, you try and take the shorter way around the racetrack, right down against that double yellow line. Fields ran the top through 3 and 4, and even ran up against the wall there through the tri-oval. So I think we're definitely seeing where the dominant line is, at least right now. She's actually caught on to the draft of that last car in the pack of Jeremy Mayer, and she's going to get up here with this lead pack. Bobby Fraser not as lucky.
Yeah, Robbie Gilvin up here. Again, you saw him just at the very tail end. Now he's on the outside lane. Looks at trying to be the dominant one, but here
Yeah.
comes a couple of cars down to the inside. That's Teji Okajima again to the inside, right behind him. That's the 36 of Alan Tanner. Now they're double file again back here, and then I guess you could say the lucky thing for Bobby Fraser back there is that the ARCA series officials, per the rules for super speedways, will throw a competition caution at halfway just to kind
Right.
of bunch things back up.
Yep, that's the saving grace for him there. So maybe that's why some of the drivers that we saw for a time lose the front pack. That might have been why they felt willing to bail out of the throttle, even if they ran the risk they wouldn't be up in the lead pack because of that guaranteed caution. I mean, you certainly can't win the race on lap 1, but you can certainly lose it. They want to preserve these cars. They don't want to tear them up before that halfway point. They want them all intact and in one piece in preparation for that upcoming second segment.
And the caution is out. They're racing back to the line. Look how close they get.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the fact that the outside line looks pretty dominant. I think that middle line's trying to push the outside line up to the wall there and not allow them that run off the corners. There you saw the 35 of Martin Harvey crossing the line to receive the caution, and Bobby Fraser.
He's
I
gonna
don't
be
think
there.
he's off the pace. I think he just lost the
Yeah,
draft. It's
I think
really
he just lost to Jeff.
super tough in these ARCA cars by yourself to get back up into that lead pack. At 63, I'm telling you what, Michael, Jennifer Fields, if she gets up to the front late in this race, I don't think anybody's going to be able to pass her. Twice we've seen a huge showcase of speed out of that Chevrolet.
Absolutely. Well, as the competition caution comes out, let these cars kind of catch up to one another, gonna bunch up. I'm not sure if we'll see pit stops or not. And even if they are, they're non-competitive. So, just
Right.
like unless under green flag situations, yellow flag pit stops in the ARCA series are not competitive. But we're gonna step aside, take a quick commercial break, and be right back with more action here from the Daytona International Speedway. We are back here at Daytona. A couple of cars did actually the leader did actually come down pit road. I guess maybe he wanted some fresh tires or something, I guess. Not sure. We'll see how it happens. As right now, Andrea Benton takes over the race lead as we are getting ready for the restart in the restart zone. Green flag is back out, and we're back underway at Daytona.
And going back to the pit stop there by Martin Harvey after he was the leader taking the caution at the halfway point. Obviously I don't have the notes in front of me, but I think from what I can remember, I think he spent most of that first segment out in front. And obviously you use up a lot more fuel when you're out in clean air rather than in the draft. If these drivers are close on fuel, he might have had to come to pit road out of necessity to make sure he could make it the rest of the way. But like we saw earlier, DJ Curtis started this race shotgun the field. It took him about 4.5 laps to get up to the lead. So that 35's got plenty of time to get back up to P1.
Comes JT Bryant, took right down to the inside of the racetrack, got the four car to go with him. That's Austin LaPlante. So LaPlante and JT Bryant trying to work together, going to see if they can't form that third lane on the inside.
Got to wonder about a lot of the veterans there, if they're all going to work with each other here in this second segment. You know, you look at drivers like LaPlante, Acosta, Curtis, Haas, Bryant, Hartnett, Dollarton. They've all raced around each other for years, for seasons, and multiple series. There's a comfort level when you've raced with somebody for that long, so you got to wonder if they're going to be more anxious to go with each other than they are with a driver that's just starting out trying to make a name for themselves.
Something I found very interesting is just the older body styles on these ARCA cars. Like we know for a long time that when the Generation 6 cars came out, the ARCA series were never really picked them up right away. They were kind of just still using the old Generation Generation
Yes.
4 cars, and now they've kind of caught up now that we have the Gen 7 cars for the Cup Series cars, that now these cars are using kind of the old body style. So it's kind of interesting to see like old style Toyotas, old Ford Fusions mixed with Ford Mustangs out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even to the fact that I don't know if necessarily in this series, but you see a lot of times in ARCA, you'll see different years of Chevrolets. Sometimes you'll see the old Chevrolet Impalas, and sometimes you'll see the old Chevrolets. I think it was at the time
SS,
the SSs. Yeah, so you
just
know,
just like you see here, yeah.
yeah, so yeah, it is interesting. There's not a whole lot in it in terms of one being faster than the other. Maybe a difference in the expense of one over the other, but aside from that,
Yeah,
for the
they're
most part, these cars are all set up fairly equally. We've seen that here tonight with just about everybody being able to work their way up to the front. And speaking of that, gonna be interesting to see what Bobby Frazier does with this second half of the race, because had the misfortune of losing the lead draft, got that caution, knew it was going to come out. Now up here in this lead pack again, it'd be an interesting little bit of a comeback story there for that Toyota if he were able to be last one crossing the line to finish out the first half, but first one to cross the line to take the checkers.
yeah, that would be interesting and a good comeback. Nonetheless, that didn't go.
35's back to the front. That didn't take him long.
Oh,
Sorry to cut you off.
no, you're fine. Yeah, I was just about to say that too. Yeah, right back up to the front, but instead here comes the 82. This is Jeremy Mayer, and so he's trying to make a name for himself here in the ARCA series. I want to kind of go back to what we were talking about with the body style, Seth. Remember, the Gen 4 cars back in the late 1990s to early 2000s. Some of those cars still love to race the old Ford Thunderbird uh,
Yeah.
body styles, at least at the super speedway. And wow, did the 82 car get a heck of a boost from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, that's you can't see it visibly, but there's a bubble that takes place at super speedways sometimes from the front bumper of one car to the back bumper of another. And I think when the 35 propelled to the front, the 82 kind of moved up in front of him and got a bubble push. Now the reason they're not reeling him in right now is because they're stacked up three wide behind him. They're pulling each other back. But if somebody can get breaking free of that three wide situation, which you see right there, one does, they're going to reel him back in.
Alan Tanner, yep. Gonna try to reel him back in. He's going about 182, about 181, 182. Everyone else is just about the same speed here. Gonna see if they can reel him back in. See, the 36 chooses the outside lane.
There's Frazier on the bottom.
We got less than 5 laps to go, by the way.
Yes, we do. Going to be 3 to go, I believe, this next time around. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a little close there between Frazier and Dollarton.
36 car on the outside lane, once again still trying.
Trying to clear the 66.
Outside lane has the good momentum. The 20 car gonna be clear. We'll see him move up the racetrack. That's gonna open the door for the 73 on the inside lane right there. And so, honestly, Jeremy Mayer's in a good spot right now.
Yeah, if I'm Jeremy Mayer, I continue to do what I'm doing. Run that line, that kind of, well, kind of where the hash marks are there. About a groove and a half off the outside wall. You're putting dirty air on the nose of the next car on the outside line. And that's allowing the inside line, the middle line, to be able to get a run and keeping them stacked up 3 wide behind. So it's great strategy out of Jeremy Mayer. He needs them to stay that way, though. He cannot have 2 or 3 cars break free and get single file, or else he is the proverbial sitting duck. Oh, Frazier trying to clear himself off the nose of Kerry Hanna. Can't do it. Now that inside line, Andrea Benton. And here comes the 63. In my opinion, maybe aside from the 35, I think maybe the fastest car in the field of Jennifer Fields. Oh, someone brushed the wall. Just heard it back there through the tri-oval.
Yep,
Okay,
Jennifer Fields.
any speed, though.
Jennifer Fields, we talked about it. Look at her get a run on the inside like
look at
this. And
this.
look at how
Look at
she
this.
closes up on the 82. It's as if the 82 put the brakes on. And we're going to see if she can make a move down the back straightaway.
The big block there. Mayer saw her coming, took the middle lane that she was utilizing to close up that gap. Now if Fields makes a move,
There she goes.
Make the pass by herself. We saw her make a pass almost up to second place in the early going by herself. Didn't need a drafting partner, but Frazier's down there with her off of 4.
Look at the run the 20 car got off the corner.
Absolutely.
White flag is in the air. This is a 3-car battle right here.
Yep, and I think that's all it is. I think the rest of them are stacked up 3 wide. Nobody else is going to get a shot. Fields takes the lead. Frazier goes into second.
She's not going to block the inside. She's going to hold on to the outside. That's going to allow more cars to get into this. Here comes Robbie Gilvin.
All of a sudden, I was thinking it was a 3-horse race, but look at this. Now you've got Alan Tanner in the 36 up there, offering drafting help to the 20.
Oh, here,
taking it 3.
there she comes.
Here comes help down the inside. It's at the 55, I think, jumped down there. Emmanuel Hartnett with the 36.
And it's going to be 3 wide.
3 rows deep off 4. Why not?
And the middle lane has the most cars, but we'll see what gets the run. Oh, they are really squeezing each other off the corner.
63 almost got put in the wall here.
Coming to the checkered flag. Outside lane getting a run, but I think it was Alan Tanner.
I think 63 got it, to be honest.
Yeah, scoring shows the 63 of Alan Tanner taking the checkered flag by...
No, it's Jennifer Fields.
I lied. Don't lie.
63, 36, tomato.
You know what? It's just like, you know, what was it? Was it to Dylan Young? Dylan Young? Yeah, exactly. Dylan Young thinking that 69 is actually 96 backwards.
Yep. Anybody that's watching, no, it's not.
Man, I hold on, Seth. We got to go back and look at this.
Yeah, that was really close at the line there. I thought for a moment Alan Tanner was going to get it, but then I saw that run through the tri-oval that Fields was getting. And look at that. Now, our unofficial scoring showed 2 100ths difference from first to third. Be interesting to see what the official word is there. My God.
Look at that right there. That's the official.
And 3 laps ago, it was 1 car running away from everybody. This is what it turned into in about 2.5 laps.
Absolutely. What a finish. You saw the run coming on the outside, and, you know... You can't have it any better than that.
Absolutely. That was a tremendous run that all 3 drivers were able to get there out of turn 4. Normally you'll see, you mentioned the midline had all the numbers there, and you'll normally see a lane die. I mean, look at the inside line. Alan Tanner and Emmanuel Hartnett, that's all there was. And they still made a race out of it when you had 4, 5, 6 cars lined up in the 2 outside lines.
Absolutely. That was incredible. Incredible finish. Jennifer Fields wins here at Daytona. And this is the official standings right here. I'm going to go ahead.
100ths officially it was between the top 3. 14 1,000ths from first to second. And you saw it there with that still shot. That's what 200ths looks like.
Yeah, there's a blink of an eye. You'd miss it. Alan Tanner, Bobby Frazier, the top 3. Emmanuel Hartnett in 4th. Robbie Gilvin 5th. Jeremy Mayer in 6th. Martin Harvey 7th. Matt Haas comes back in 8th. Charlie Arnold 9th. Tony Wiggins in 10th. oh gosh, that's how you say that last name. Kyler Sustre?
Sustre, yeah.
Sustre?
That's what we're going with anyway.
Yeah, that's where if we mispronounce any of these names, please like let us know. Timo Mauser, I think that's how you say that right, Masur?
Yeah. Masua?
Masur. Eight.
Proudly presents your dinner, Masua.
12, Andrea Benton falls back to 13th. Chris Dollarton back to 14th. Carrie Hanna in 15th. Ryan Acosta, Austin LaPlante. JT Bryant. Uh, oh, God. Taji Okajima. I'm not going to get any of this. And look, DJ Curtis. Oh, he lost the draft, I think.
He must have lost I was looking at that. He must have lost the draft. We missed that.
All right, let's see. Where was he at? So let's see. Right there. They crossed the line. And, oh, yeah, he was right here.
I heard someone get the wall. I think it was coming to the white
It
flag.
it might have been.
Possibly, I don't know.
Yeah, very well could have been. Well,
So
Seth.
started last, finished last. That's unfortunate for DJ. Only 9 races left to claw his way up back through the point standings.
Yeah, I mean, hold on. Let me see if I can pull up the schedule here for ARCA. I mean, right after here, yeah, we're going to Phoenix. Heading on over to Phoenix after this, and then it's Talladega. This is the schedule for the Menards ARCA series here. It's Daytona, which just finished. Excuse me. Then it's Phoenix, Talladega, Kansas, Charlotte, Berlin, which is an interesting dirt track, Mid Ohio, Pocono, Michigan, and then the season finale at Auto Club. And this season finale, regardless of whether we're at the same point or not, the season finale will coincide with almost a doubleheader with the Budweiser All Pro Series season finale as well.
You know what I heard with that schedule? I heard that in like the first 4 or 5 races, you're gonna have to make good on as many points as possible because that middle stretch of Berlin, Mid-Ohio, and Pocono, key track position racetracks. Very difficult to pass. If you qualify well, odds are you're gonna finish well. So at tracks that we're going to here, like you mentioned, Phoenix, Talladega, obviously a super speedway, very easy to pass. As we saw tonight, it was easy to pass at Daytona. So I got a lot of hope for the super speedway package for these ARCA cars. Kansas going to be coming up as well. These are tracks where you're able to, if you don't get the best qualifying effort, you are able to make passes, cut your way through the field, and be able to make a net gain from start to finish. So
honestly, my big worries for these drivers would probably be just Berlin being a dirt track, and then Mid Ohio being a road course where we all know it's kind of hard to pass unless you've got the horsepower under the hood.
Yep, definitely true. I mean, there's only about 2 or 3 that I can think of off the top of my head, key passing zones in Mid-Ohio, and even they're kind of sketchy. You have to have,
And we would know because we've raced there.
Yeah, so it's kind of very risky in terms of that. However, as you mentioned here tonight, and we're going to be seeing it during the course of the season as well, you got that midway caution, so maybe that mixes things up a little bit at tracks.
At least
like
for
Berlin
super
and
speedways.
Mid-Ohio.
No, yeah. For Berlin and Mid Ohio, the midway cautions are definitely going to help. But it's also for
back together to make a couple more passes in the second half or something.
Oh yeah, I completely agree as well. Well, Seth, so this was interesting and this was fun. Nice little short race here for the ARCA cars, getting their first race under the belt. Seemed pretty fun, exciting. No cautions aside from the competition caution at halfway. So here's to a good 10 race season for them, right?
Yeah, and that's what I love about these kind of series too, because we've got names that are very familiar in this series, but Jennifer Fields, we knew absolutely nothing about her coming into tonight, and now we know that she's very good at super speedway racing. She was able to put her car in the right place at the right time on several occasions. So, if we end up seeing her win the championship and see her have a guaranteed ride for the next season, the Budweiser All Pro Series, I think she's going to be a name we're going to have on our lips when we come back to Daytona for the season opener.
Yep, and I can't wait for that. So thank you, Seth, so much for joining me here. This was definitely a fun first race for the ARCA series, and I can't wait to move on and see what happens from here.
Yep, it was really cool to see this showcase, see these names in action, and looking forward to seeing how this season plays out. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the ARCA Menards Racing Series. I am Michael Norman, as he was Seth Cole, and I say, until we meet again.
I was Seth Cole, now who am I?